The rain hammered against the windows of my Seattle home, mirroring the storm raging inside me. Bertram, a 43-year-old architect, had always prided myself on my ability to design structures that were both beautiful and strong, foundations that could withstand anything. But my own foundation, my marriage to Isolde, was crumbling before my eyes. Isolde and I had been together for 15 years, married for 12. We met at a gallery opening. I was captivated by her fiery red hair and her even fierier intellect. She was a journalist, always chasing down stories, always questioning everything. I admired her passion, her drive. We built a life together, a comfortable existence filled with dinner parties, weekend trips to the San Juan Islands, and quiet evenings curled up with books. We were, I thought, happy. The first crack appeared subtly, a barely perceptible shift in Isolde's behavior. She started working late more often, citing demanding deadlines and urgent investigations. I didn't think much of it at first. Journalism was a demanding profession, and Isolde had always been dedicated to her work. But then came the hushed phone calls, the secretive glances, the way she flinched when I touched her. One evening, I decided to surprise her at the office. I brought her favorite coffee and a pastry from the bakery down the street. I walked into her office, expecting to find her hunched over her computer, but instead, I found her locked in a passionate embrace with a man I'd never seen before. The world seemed to tilt on its axis. My breath caught in my throat and I felt a coldness spread through my veins. Isolde pulled away from the man, her eyes wide with shock and guilt. The man, tall and handsome with a smarmy grin, simply smirked at me. "Bertram, this isn't what it looks like," Isolde stammered, her voice trembling. "Oh, really? Because it looks exactly like my wife is cheating on me," I said, my voice flat and devoid of emotion. I couldn't bring myself to yell, to scream, to unleash the fury that was building inside me. I just stood there, numb. The man stepped forward, extending his hand. "I'm Caspian, Isolde's colleague." I ignored his hand and turned to Isolde. "I'm leaving. Don't bother waiting up." I walked out of the office, the image of Isolde and Caspian seared into my brain. I drove home in a daze, the rain blurring the city lights. I couldn't comprehend what had just happened. How could Isolde do this to me, to us? I spent the next few days in a fog of disbelief and anger. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't focus on my work. I replayed every moment of our relationship in my head, searching for clues, for signs that I had missed. Had I been so blind, so naive? Isolde eventually came home, her eyes red and swollen. She begged for forgiveness, claiming it was a mistake, a moment of weakness. She said she loved me, that she didn't want to lose me, but the trust was broken, shattered beyond repair. "I don't understand," I said, my voice barely a whisper. "Why, Isolde, why would you do this?" "I don't know," she sobbed. "I was feeling lost, unfulfilled. Caspian made me feel alive again." Her words were like a knife twisting in my gut, so I wasn't enough. After all these years, I had failed to keep her interested, to keep her happy. I asked her to leave. I couldn't bear to look at her, to be in the same room with her. She packed her bags and moved into a small apartment downtown. We started the process of divorce, a painful and drawn-out affair. As I started going through our finances, I discovered something even more disturbing. Isolde had been secretly funneling money from our joint account into a separate account in her name. Over the past year, she had embezzled a significant sum, enough to buy a small condo. I confronted her about it and she denied it at first, but when I presented her with the bank statements, she broke down and confessed. She claimed she needed the money for a special project, but I suspected it was for Caspian. This was the final straw. Not only had she cheated on me, but she had also stolen from me. The betrayal was complete. I decided I wasn't going to let her get away with it. I contacted a lawyer and filed charges for embezzlement. Isolde was arrested and faced the possibility of jail time. Caspian, it turned out, was married himself, and when his wife found out about the affair, she left him, taking their children with her. Isolde's life began to unravel. She lost her job, her friends, and her reputation. She was ostracized by the community, branded as a cheater and a thief. I watched it all unfold from a distance, feeling a mixture of satisfaction and sadness. I didn't revel in her downfall, but I couldn't deny that a part of me felt vindicated. She had hurt me deeply, and she was finally facing the consequences of her actions. As the divorce proceedings continued, I met with my lawyer, a sharp and intelligent woman named Meredith. Meredith was a no-nonsense professional, but she also had a compassionate side. She listened to me, offered advice, and helped me navigate the complex legal system. Over time, Meredith became more than just my lawyer. We started having dinner together, going for walks in the park, sharing our hopes and dreams. I found myself drawn to her strength, her intelligence, and her unwavering support. One evening, as we were sitting on a bench overlooking Puget Sound, Meredith turned to me and said, "Bertram, you deserve to be happy. Don't let Isolde's actions define you." Her words resonated with me. I realized that I had been so consumed by anger and bitterness that I had forgotten what it felt like to be happy. I had allowed Isolde to steal not only my money but also my joy. I decided to let go of the anger and focus on rebuilding my life. I threw myself into my work, designing new and innovative buildings. I started taking painting classes, rediscovering my passion for art. I spent more time with my friends and family, reconnecting with the people who truly cared about me. And I started seeing Meredith more often. We fell in love, slowly and cautiously. She helped me heal, to trust again, to believe in the possibility of love after betrayal. Isolde eventually pleaded guilty to embezzlement and was sentenced to probation and community service. She reached out to me, begging for forgiveness, but I couldn't give it to her. The pain was still too raw, the betrayal too deep. I moved on with my life, building a new foundation, one based on trust, honesty, and love. I married Meredith, and we built a beautiful life together, filled with laughter, adventure, and unwavering support. Looking back, I realized that Isolde's betrayal was a turning point in my life. It was a painful and devastating experience, but it also forced me to reevaluate my priorities, to let go of the past, and to embrace the future. I learned that even the strongest foundations can crumble, but that it is always possible to rebuild, to create something even better than before. The rain outside has stopped, and the sun is peeking through the clouds. I look out at the city skyline, a testament to human ingenuity and resilience. And I know that I, too, am resilient. I have survived the storm, and I have emerged stronger and wiser on the other side.